Welcome to the program. Today is April 26th in the year 2023. One more year. One more year before the big election that's going to change everything. We're going to vote for a new president here in America, and that will fix everything. All the problems will go away. How do you win? How do you win an election today? Well, you smear the other guy. Since you have nothing to offer, you might as well crush the other guy. Precisely what Trump under fire. Three, 1, 2, 3, count them, cases pending. Welcome everybody to the program. Give yourselves a hand for getting here. We are live. This is live radio. Live. This is what live looks like in the modern age. Welcome everybody in the chat. Jim Steele is here. Zoot Suit Cooter. Palsar. Mikhail Sly, my brother, is here. Chris Cornell. Chris Milk. Hello, and we're live. Bing. Welcome to the program. Welcome. Hi, my name is Marcus Conte, and I'm a guy who makes videos here on YouTube. And today we're going to watch a video. You're going to watch a video. I'm going to make a video about how Donald J. Trump, former president of the United States, suddenly and out of nowhere, it seems, is a fantasy rapist who barges into dressing rooms in the middle of fucking Fifth Avenue and rapes famous women. You heard? That's one allegation. The other is business fraud. All over the place. 35 criminal cases, 35 criminal felonies, many civil penalties of other women that claim that Trump raped them. So this is what elections look like now in America. The object is to smear the other party using any and all tools at your exposure. Meaning that if you're the Attorney General of New York, you look at Trump and you concoct 35 felonies that Trump may have committed, and then you bring it to trial like nobody else. Nobody else in America would be treated that way unless they were running for the president and they had a shot at winning. Or you find women, you find disgruntled women from 30 years ago, and they come out of nowhere and say, Trump raped me, he raped me, and all the sleepy minds focus on that. And you're spending your time, hopefully you're spending your time promoting what you're going to do for the people that's good, instead of defending yourself from the false, what appear to be false allegations against you. Right? So tough times. You can't say Trump doesn't bring it on himself. Trump is an outsider per se, even though he was the president of the United States. They still perceive him from the outside, but it is look. It's a different time, right? I was just reading. I'm going to read a story from the Post about Molly Ringwald. You remember Molly Ringwald, the famous girl in the Breakfast Club, the movies of the 1990s, late 1980s? Even she's embarrassed regarding the movies she made back in the 80s, the movies that made her famous. Molly Ringwald, is that her name? Molly Ringwald? What the fuck's her name? Molly Ringwald. You remember Molly Ringwald from the Breakfast Club? Even she's saying that I can't watch those movies back in the early 90s. It was such a different time. Well, that is a good and accurate observation. But why don't you have to also offer that same analysis to people being accused criminally and civilly of things that happened almost 30 years ago. It is a different time, and you can't hold people then to a standard now because it doesn't fly. It was a different era. Right? It's like, for example, you were a kid. And say you're a kid. Say I was a kid. Let's use me. I'm 59 years old. And when I was a child, when I was in the third grade, a certain teacher pushed me up against the wall and said, "You better sit in your..." Pulled me out into the hallway, embarrassed me in front of my class, and pushed me against the wall with her finger in my face and said, "You better sit quietly or you're going to keep sitting in the corner of the room," and then embarrassed me and put me into the corner of the room. Now, the teacher pushed me, right? So what am I supposed to do? Right? Almost 50 years later, should I say that the teacher shouldn't have hit me? Now, I was never struck by a teacher, but I do know kids that went to Catholic school that were struck by nuns. The point is that was a long effing time ago. And should I come out of nowhere and file a civil lawsuit against the city of New York and probably now the dead teacher who shoved me in the third grade because it affected my life forever? And I am the way I am because of the way I was treated. It becomes ridiculous. And a lot of what, at least in the rape allegations against Trump, that appears to be what it is. Alpha male walks into a shop and he's, big me, little you. That's what Trump does. That's his claim to fame. And you got women like this right here in the photo, 30 years ago, saying he pushed into the room and he wanted a piece of me and I couldn't hold him off. Do we believe her? No, she was selling a book. There's a off-Broadway show at Joe's Pub in New York City of 7 other women who claim Trump raped them. So this is ridiculous. It's silly season, and this is what elections look like. Don't talk about Trump's accomplishments, de-escalating nuclear war with North Korea, and holding Putin out of Ukraine for many, many, many years. And all the triumphs and inspiration that Trump brought to the White House during his time, and a couple of other things that he denigrating things. But these are the times that we live in. This is who we are as a people now. There's no sense of morality, no sense of right and wrong. For example, in this case, this woman is saying that Trump is civilly liable because he denied her allegations of rape. Could you imagine that? That's actually penciled into the lawsuit. He defamed me because he denied my allegation of rape, and that hurt my reputation. It's so ridiculous. It's backwards logic. If you don't want to be, when you come public and you bring a case public, the person you're accusing has the obligation to say, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're crazy." That's a crazy lady right there, right? So the allegations in this particular case with this particular woman, as you're going to see, is it's ridiculous that first of all, if it's not criminal, there was no criminal charges ever 35 years ago, whatever it was. But she's saying that Trump owes her money because Trump denied her allegation. That doesn't stand up in fact, in law. It's ridiculous. Right? That's her principal argument, that Trump defamed her by suggesting that what she was saying was false and fake. So anyway, so that's my thumbnail today. This is my website, Marcus Conte, video philosopher. Join us every morning at 9 a.m. for educational, philosophical live streams right through the election until they kick us off, because they like to do that. Them, they, those, the other, the money, whoever the fuck is controlling, Google. Google's up today. Google beat their earnings. Congratulations, Google and YouTube, for just squeaking by, getting by. Earnings going up on Wall Street. We're going to have an up day for sure. Microsoft as well has put up better than expected earnings. So those are two big players, Google and Microsoft. Facebook looks like they're going to do it as well. So it looks like we're going to have an up tech day, probably running right into the end of the week, maybe 10% up. On those markets, hopefully, and hopefully those rallies will continue. And so anyway, and we'll take a look at that. Way to support this program through Zelle, Short Happy Life Zelle. You can make a donation directly to this program by doing that. If you're rich, have your accountant peel off a couple of bucks and send it our way, and we'll be your dog in the race, right? Dog in the race, the truthful dog in the race, right? We got to hope Tucker Carlson doesn't come back strong, because he's good. Where is Tucker Carlson tonight? Tucker Carlson is no longer with Fox. His 8 p.m. slot eviscerated. He needs a YouTube channel. Tucker, get a YouTube channel, Tucker, and get your 2 million subscribers. They'll all come over. If Tucker Carlson did that today, if he, now that he's off Fox and had millions of people watching, just do the same show. Set yourself up with a bunch of researchers, just like Fox, but do it truthfully, and come out in front of the cameras every night at 8 p.m., and people will love you, Live audience is a little different, but you don't have to pay attention to that. Just do your show, So anyway, so let's start here. So as I was saying, Molly Ringwald, right? Remember the chick that played these high school parts in the 1980s? I certainly remember. Why I can't watch Breakfast Club with my teen. So Molly Ringwald was the star of this show, right? This show, also in Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles. She's now 55, and she can't watch the 1985 Breakfast Club with her teenage daughter, 13, because of its, quote, sexist tropes. Sexist tropes, 1985, 95, 2005, 15. That's 38 years ago. 38 years ago. That's her. Right? And now here she is with her lovely daughter. The whole storyline with Carolyn that didn't have anything to do with my character, she said. I really couldn't change that. She says she felt protected as a young actress. Right. The thing that she objects to is, for instance, Ringwald points out that the 16 Candles storyline, in which Jake trades his drunk girlfriend Carol to have sex with Farmer Ted in exchange for a pair of stolen underthings. All right. So these are types of character. These are types of, I guess, behaviors that were obviously acceptable and happening at the time in the 1985s, where drunken people would trade each other's sex partners. And she finds that 38 years later offensive, and maybe she's gonna file suit, right? She's gonna try to sue her history. She's gonna try to sue yesterday. She's gonna sue yesterday for today's problems, and that tomorrow will be better. Molly. Her daughter has a daughter is striking. Look at look at the daughter of Molly Ringwald, and look at Molly Ringwald when she was her daughter's age. Striking resemblance. So I don't know what you think of that. I see it all as, gold digging and propaganda. And look, women, nobody here is anti-woman. We're just, what's being pointed out is that that was then, this is now. Times change, people evolve. You could make an argument in 30 years that women are sexually, have sexual power over men. In 30 years, women are going to decide, women are going to grab men and pull them into the bathroom and tell them to, sit on the floor and work. Right? That's possible. Right? So, but the key is that we have to look at what is happening now. Does any of this stuff have any bearing in today's world? Right? And can you hold people accountable today for things that happened very, very socially sketchy, iffy things that happened 38 years ago? I don't think you can. I see it as like everybody is vulnerable to that sort of prosecution 35 years ago because it was a totally different time. If you were an adult and you were around, how many hippies screwed other hippies in the 60s? And what are we going to do? Everybody from the 60s that was a flower child is saying, all those women said, I only took my clothes off and painted myself because the men told me to do it. I wanted equal rights and they were doing it, so I did it, and then they did it and I did it. It's all stupid, right? Be responsible for your own actions. That's Molly Ringwald. And so look at this guy, Lee Thomas, as if times couldn't be crazy enough. You've got a full-blown man who maybe cut off his junk. I don't know. But Lee Thomas says feminist critics are misogynistic transphobes. Misogynistic transphobes. That's what he's calling you. If you dispute he's a swimmer, and he swims with the women because he says he is a woman. And if you deny that or dispute that, you are a misogynistic transphobe. Let's listen to him in his own words say.
They're like, we respect Leah as a woman, as a trans woman, whatever. We respect her identity. We just don't think it's fair. You can't really have that sort of half support where you're like, I respect her as a woman here, but not here. They're using the guise of feminism to sort of...
I don't respect you as a woman anywhere at all, Lee. I don't respect you as a woman at all. I respect you as a good swimmer who probably should be in the pool with the men swimming. But I don't even view you as in terms of woman and man. That's for you. That's only in your sick fucking head.
Push transphobic beliefs. I think you can't really have that sort of half support where you're like, I respect her as a woman here, but not here. They're using the guise of feminism to sort of push transphobic beliefs. I think.
So transphobic beliefs. If you don't agree with Lee and you think that he should be in the pool with the men instead of the women, or be in a pool by himself, if you don't agree with that, then you are transphobic, misogynistic.
I think a lot of people in that camp sort of carry an implicit bias against trans people, but don't want to, I guess, fully manifest or speak that out. And so they try to just play it off as this sort of half support.
You're out of your mind, kid. The young man is out of his mind. No one is misogynistic. No one is transphobic. The issue is you are male. Even if you cut your junk off and call yourself something else, goddammit, you are male, and you don't get in the pool with females and try to swim against them because males swim faster. Have you heard? Males swim faster than females and run faster than females and can lift more weight and crash their helmet into the other player better than females. That's just a fact. I mean, if you dispute that fact, well, show me a woman who runs faster than a man. Show me a woman who lifts more weight. The strongest woman lifts more weight than the strongest man. You can't really, at this time, you can't really point to any of that. Or maybe tennis, Billie Jean King beat the best tennis player of the time, and who was a man. Woman beats a man. But show it to me in football, in basketball, where a woman beats a man. It doesn't happen. Or in a 100-yard dash. Ain't going to happen. So that's the issue, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas, the issue is not your transphobic psychoism in your head. It's the fact that you are a man getting in the pool with little girls, swimming against them, and declaring yourself the fucking winner. Right? You're out of your mind. There he is. I'm a woman. I'm a woman, goddammit. Look at me. Look at my womanness. What's this jerk off?
They're like, oh, we respect Leah as a woman, as a trans woman, whatever. We respect her identity. We just don't think it's fair.
I don't know who respects you. It's those are the jack off left that have to respect you. They're going along with it because they don't want to be fired. They don't want to. They're using him, her pronouns. Oh, her, because if they don't, then they get fired. It's really a sick event. In culture today. I mean, look, this person should be allowed to say, and I support that. Say whatever you want. However, get out of the pool with the kids.
You can't really
get in the man's pool.
They have that sort of half support where you're like, oh, I respect her as a woman here, but not here. They're using the guise of feminism to sort of push transphobic beliefs.
Who's pushing transphobic beliefs? Who's transphobic? What is transphobic? I'm afraid of you? I'm not afraid of you. I'm not transphobic because I disagree with you, Mr. Thomas. I disagree with you because you are a full-grown man. Whether you cut your shit off or not, you cut off his junk. Whether you did that or not, whether you got on a plane to Thailand and removed your penis and installed a vagina, you are a man in the pool with the young ladies. Now get out of the pool. I would call you a pedophile. I would call you a fucking peeping Tom. Peeping Tom wants to be in the stall with the women while they're changing. He wants to get in the pool with the women and call himself a woman. The fucking crazy bastard that he is. So anyway, file that one under censored. File that report under censored. Let's talk about the elections. Shadow banned. So let's look at the Real Clear Politics is coming out with polls right now for the 2024 election. That's what we're here to talk about. Donald Trump got sidetracked with Mr. Thomas in the pool. And some of the polls coming in, Trump, they're doing the Republican primary. Trump 49, DeSantis 23, Prince, Haley, and the rest all below 10. That's Reuters. NBC News has Trump at 46, DeSantis at 31. Wall Street Journal has Trump 48, DeSantis 24. All right, we're having a real primary in the Republican Party. That's where the excitement is going to be because none of them are incumbent. Even though Trump is a former president, he's not the incumbent president. He's a former president. That's just a credential. So there will be a Republican primary. On the other hand, the Democrats have canceled their primary because they're running who will be an 82-year-old man, Joe Biden. They're going to run him against the Republican Party and try to squeak him in, in all the ways they do. So there is no primary. That's what I'm trying to say. Democrats, people who are Democrats, people who are progressives that think they're going to push their way into to the Democratic Party and make them change their mind and fall in line with the progressive theme of life, you're fucking wrong. You're not getting it. The primary, Bernie and Elizabeth and Pete Buttigieg and fucking the rest of them, Kamala Harris, you're not getting a primary because the Democrats have decided that Joe Biden will run. Joe Biden has decided he will run, and they will force you. You think they forced the vaccine on people? Watch how they force the vote. We're coming to a time now in New York City that if you suggest that you're not for Biden, you'll probably get fired or exiled or thrown in the list of anti-vaxxers and mega MAGA fucking monsters. That's what's happening in the world right now. So it looks like it does look like Trump has the edge. Prior to that, prior to the knowledge that there would be no primary, Biden, in the Democratic side, Biden was only 27 points ahead of Harris, Camilla. And look at this. In New Hampshire, Biden 25, Bernie Sanders 17% of the vote, and Bernie hasn't even fucking said boo about it. Now, I've also seen Fox reporting that Kennedy had upwards of 15% of the vote already. So Real Clear Politics is not even considering fucking Robert F. Kennedy. They're not even going to talk about him. You talk about rigged polls. Is Fox all by themselves? You just see his name mentioned. It's nothing. Nothing. They're not giving Kennedy anything at all. April 21, that was a few days ago's poll. They didn't even have his name on the fucking list. And he's got a 15%. So anyway, you're not getting your primary. Sorry. The action. So it looks like Trump is clearly, unequivocally the front runner in the Republican nomination. And on the Democratic side, you are not getting anybody but Biden. Nobody but Biden. Joe Biden is your pick, whether you like it or not. That's the way it is, and you better suck it up. Just suck it up. So that's where we stand in terms of the election. Trump is very powerful. Trump has the eyes and ears of the American electorate, and the Democrats can't have that. So what do? You find ladies like E. Jean Carroll, rape. He raped me. That's Carol right there. Carol says in a trial, a civil trial that's going to go in fucking front of a judge next month. Jury selection is slated this Tuesday in the civil case that writer E. Jean Carroll brought against Trump, claiming that he raped her in the 1990s. She doesn't even know what time it was. Was it 19? She doesn't even know what year it was. 95, 96, I don't know. It fucking raped me. So the advice columnist claims he forced himself on her in a Bergdorf Goodman fitting room. Bergdorf Goodman fitting room. That's right across the street from where Trump Plaza is. Trump Plaza on Fifth Avenue, across the street, literally across the street, you could see it from the door, is Bergdorf Goodman, which is on the corner of 56th and Fifth Avenue, I believe. So he's across the street, and allegedly he pushes into some fucking. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that this guy, this millionaire fucking, guy, casino owner, pushes his way into a room and tries to and rapes you. It's just ridiculous. It's just such a ridiculous story. The lawsuit accuses Trump, 76, of defaming Carol, now 79, when he publicly denied her allegations and claimed he didn't know her. Miss Carol, that is not defamation. When you accuse somebody of raping you in a department store 35 years ago and they say, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know who this person is. That's not defamation. You are defaming him. Do you understand that? You, Miss Carol, are defaming Trump by making up this ridiculous story and pushing it 35 years after the fact. Or 30 years in this case. Almost 30 years. So Manhattan Federal Court trial is expected to last between 5 and 7 days. You got the Alvin Bragg case, 35 felonies charges against Trump. 35 criminal felony charges against Trump. You've got a woman who's they're going to trial. I don't know how the hell they got it this far, but they're actually there's gonna be a hearing where Miss Carol says he raped me with no evidence, no proof, no witnesses, no fucking nothing, just her word. I forgot what I was going to say. It's just ridiculous. There she is again, having a good time. Oh, having a good time. I'm here for the rape case. I'm here to accuse Donald Trump for rape because he's an animal and he's a misogynist and he shouldn't be allowed to be anywhere near the presidency. Trump attorney Joe Tapicani asked that the jury be informed. Trump tried to get out of it because in this civil case, by the way, if you're not aware, because it's civil, Trump has no obligation, zero obligation to appear in court. And the prosecution is saying, Trump, you see, Trump is being elusive. He's not even going to come here and testify because he doesn't have to. See, that makes him guilty. That's what they're saying. If he shows up, it's worse because then he's incriminating himself by speaking. And if he doesn't show up, they'll say, oh, see how bad it is? He loses either way. The best thing to do is just stay away from it. He loses less by just staying away from it, in my view. So that's case number one. Here's Trump sitting in his, the criminal. Here she is, Miss fucking, I don't know who. She's got a mask on, her tie, and oh, God, these people are despicable. Yeah, that's the allegation. Trump slammed me against the wall before a sexual assault. Donald Trump slammed me against the wall before allegedly raping me. Decades later, he tried to destroy and humiliate her when she came forward with the accusations. What a ridiculous lawsuit, really. I mean, it doesn't get more ridiculous than that. You accuse me of rape, and I discredit that allegation, and now I'm defaming you. It's backwards logic. There's a bunch of other ones. Writers who accuse Trump of forcible kissing. Because Trump is, look, again, the videos are clear. Joe Biden is a hands-on, touchy-feely, grab the kids, kiss the woman, forcibly kissing women on camera. Right? Biden grabbing people's, pulling women in public, kissing them, grabbing little kids, putting his hand on their head and fucking rubbing the lower back. Right? That's what you have in the record. So you gotta unwind that and say, Trump did it too. But where's the evidence of Trump doing it? There is none. Therefore, if there's no evidence of it and there's never been a trial about it, then it didn't happen. Right? If there's never been anything. So anyway, so here's another one. Her name is Natasha Stoynoff. And I mentioned Alvin Bragg. The black DA in New York bringing the charges, 34 felony charges for business fraud and other garbage. So Stoyanov is one of the writers of the Pussy Grabber play. The Pussy Grabber plays with an S. The Pussy Grabber plays, which will run for one night at Joe's Pub Monday, and feature 7 stories inspired by the woman who came forward with similar accusations against Trump. So there they are at Joe's Pub. Right, that's Astor Place right there. This is right where St. Mark's Place, where cool people used to hang out. Joe's Pub now catering to the loony left. It's fantasy. It's a fantasy that Trump raped them, pushed the pussy grabber. He's a pussy grabber. He grabbed my pussy. And also Tish James, that lawsuit. There's another one. This is civil. Trump calls for Letitia James to show real strength and courage and drop her civil fraud case against him. $250 million civil case. A group of women claiming that he grabbed their pussy. Some quack women claiming that he raped her in a dressing room at Bergman fucking whatever in a department store, right? And on and on and on, right? On and on and on. Is Trump guilty of any of this stuff? Did he do it? Did Trump do anything? I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's the tone of the election, right? You have to. The Democrats are faced with a very, very formidable candidate, so they have to literally rape him in public. And it looks like they're clearly going after the woman vote. It seems like the black vote that they kept going after is failing. But they figure, the Democrats, figure that if they can get half the country's crazy women to agree that Trump is a misogynist and doesn't like them, they will vote for the other guy, which is Joe Biden, who, wink, wink, I'm only running to get Camilla into the office. I'm going to retire. I'm going to resign right after I get in. Is that what Biden is going to do? Is that part of the deal? The deal there? Run with Kamala Harris, get elected as a team, and then if you want to bow out, you bow out. We already got Kamala Harris already in line with all the policies that we need to make happen. And Kamala Harris is a puppet. She'll do whatever the money tells her to do. That does seem to be the play. So go after Kamala Harris, Republicans, because she's their pick. It's unlikely that, in hindsight, it's unlikely that the Democrats would pick somebody outside of Kamala Harris after Biden wins. Before that, if Biden declaring himself a presidential candidate again turns out that by doing that, he effectively cancels the Democratic primary. So there's no Bernie Sanders, there's no Elizabeth Warren, there's no RFK, there's no Tulsi Gabbard's types coming on stage, no Marianne's on stage attacking the current. Well, there is no, Biden wouldn't be there. There is no primary this year. No primary. I'm saying the same things over and over again. I'm repeating myself, so I think we're almost done. I want to switch gears. So that's the state of our politics. Are we buffering now? Are we buffering? Video to maintain smooth streaming. Da 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 da. It does look like we are. It does look like error. YouTube is not receiving enough video data. It looks like we buffered. We're buffering. Anyway. So let's look at the stock market for a second. NASDAQ futures jump buoyed by Microsoft results. It's 9:43. The markets are open. It looks like Microsoft is up 6.5%, up 17 points right now on better than expected earnings. Google reported flat, but a little better, only up actually down 5 cents right now. Amazon up $2.35. So tech giants Microsoft and Alphabet both reported better than expected earnings and revenue. Microsoft shares soared during Tuesday's extended session after the software giant reported fiscal third quarter earnings per share $2.45. Wall Street was expecting $2.23, which is better than expected. So earnings are rolling in on Wall Street, and what do you know? All the indices are up. S&P 500 up 17, Dow up 67, and the Nasdaq is up a whopping 141 or 1%. I would suspect that that's going to keep going up. Is that what it is? Let me click. Excuse me. Nasdaq up 90. I would expect the Nasdaq to continue to creep up in light of the better than expected earnings. It's only 9:45. Market's only open 15 minutes. But people are going to come in. Wall Streeters are going to come in and say, see, they're making more money now. And the next 3 months down the road, when you get the next quarter earnings, it's going to be way up. So this may now signal that this is the buy opportunity in big tech. Snake Plissken says, I hope my Apple stocks move. Apple is 163 at the moment. I think I don't think there's any more downside on Apple. I think it's all upside at this point. Look at the chart for you. Apple. Come on, Apple. Come on, Apple. Give it to me. Let's look at Apple chart. Apple short-term down. 6 month. No. Apple's looking good in 1 year. Yeah. See the all-time high of Apple was 174. If you caught Apple between 160 from here up to 174, you're still not in that bad a shape, because you could see how it's ripping off the bottom. If you bought it anything less than here, it went down to 125 at one point. I don't see it. I don't see any downside. I don't really see any more downside to this. I see a chart that this is the 5-year, and you see it was slowly coming up. It's been going sideways since 2021 a little bit, but now the downside, it's not going to come down. It could go sideways for a while longer, but it looks like now Wall Street has given permission to go in and buy. So anyway, I don't know. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you for dealing with the brakes. People jamming on the brakes in the stream somehow is jamming on the brakes. My name is Marcus Conte, and we're gonna have an interesting election. It's heating up. It's revving up, and who knows? It doesn't look like. It doesn't look like the Democrats are going to yield on Trump. They are going to try to frame him a rapist, a business fraud, and Trump, in response to that, is going to point to the Biden family corruption of quid pro quo, using their political positions to enrich themselves and not others. And there's ample evidence of that. Not only in Hunter Biden's laptop that was revealed, but that's just the way the Democrats operate. Give us money and we'll give you a favor. That's quid pro quo. That's bribery. That is inappropriate. But that's the state of American politics right now. Don't kid yourself. You can buy influence in America. You buy influence. You can buy a prosecutor that will go after your enemy. Like the case of Alvin Bragg in New York. Soros team, they buy him. They fund him. And then Alvin Bragg, newly elected, wants to go after Trump. And he goes after him, and he's being paid to do that. That's not justice. That's not a criminal justice system. That is a deeply, deeply corrupt system where someone with a lot of money can pay somebody else to come after you legally from the side of justice, right? From the side that is supposed to be justice for the people, the Attorney General. Right? So we got Trump. Good luck, Trump. Good luck, Trump. You don't want to be Trump, boy. Alex Conte.